They exposed the genocide that took place in Obibo. They threw a hand grenade into the mother's car and blew the woman up. Okorafor went to go and bury the mother. They came there and they shot him as well. Luckily, he managed to escape with a bullet wound on his foot, his right leg. Are you aware of it? The mother said, our police are being attacked. Our army are being attacked. All that rubbish. When your army is busy attacking innocent people, all of you demonic animals in the zoo called Nigeria, you call... should have come on that. Next time you see Obasanjo, please ask him who brought unknown into the killings in Nigeria. He will tell you he did. Unknown soldiers going to Fela's house. Who burnt Fela's house? Is it Calcutta Republic or whatever it's called? Unknown soldiers under Obasanjo. That's Nigeria for you. They started insecurity. Fulani, this very regime of nepotism, this regime of backwardness, this feudal regime of mediocrity, they are the ones that started insecurity in Nigeria. Wicked souls. Wicked souls. Every time they deny. Let me tell you something about, Ahmed Gulak that was killed. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it because there was a man in the vehicle. He is an Ogoni man. An Ogoni man was with Ahmed Gulak in his vehicle. They don't do research, but we do. The Ahmed Gulak, the reason why they're killing everybody in the East. He was with another man riding in the vehicle. Where is that man? And I want him to speak publicly and tell the whole world what he told the police about the identity of the killers of Ahmed Gulak. There was a man riding, I don't want to mention your name. If you don't make a public statement within 2 days, I will mention your name. This man witnessed the assassination of Ahmed Gulak firsthand. And the man said to the police, he told the IG of police, the assassins were not Igbo. I want somebody to ask the police commissioner of Imo State to also ask the IG of police of Nigeria, did they get a first-hand account of what happened from a man that was riding in the same vehicle with Ahmed Gulak? Yes or no? It's a simple question. Zoo journalists, they are very lazy. I want them to go and ask the IG of police, was there any man riding in the same vehicle as Ahmed Gulak when he was killed? Did that man give you a statement? And what did his statement say? I am telling the world today that the man told the IG of police that those that killed Ahmed Gulak are not Igbo people. True or false? That all of you are busy writing rubbish. Daily Post, all these idiots writing junk. You think you want to stifle Biafra? You think you want to delay the coming of Biafra? You think you can stop Biafra from coming, but you're wasting your time. The more you write rubbish, the more your village is being taken over by Fulani people. Hausa people, remember when you used to be called Hausa Fulani? We Hausa Fulani, but Fulani, they went to Kebbi State and slaughtered Hausa people. But they're doing Hausa Fulani as brothers. We Hausa Fulani, but in Kebbi State, Hausa people were murdered by Fulani. You people don't learn anything. As I said, there is something wrong with the brain of black people, especially those of you from Nigeria. There is something definitely wrong with your brain. I'm telling you the truth. You are not normal. You can never be.
You have heard, I intentionally allowed the program of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be the speech of our today's program. Today we anchored a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu program to listen to him. And when you look at the title I chose today, it says, Biafra must learn from the past, build on what we know so that we don't repeat mistakes. I don't know whether if some of you were paying attention to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying. I know that some of us are very careless. We don't listen. You only pay attention when it is a saga that has to do with blackmailing somebody. When it has to do with somebody you know, or when you want to talk about somebody, oh, this one did this one did it. Mr. A and Mr. B are fighting. Mr. A and Mr. B said Mr. B is a criminal. That is the only one you pay attention and open your ear very well to hear every little gossip. But maybe in this very broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if I ask you, what did you hear? What did you learn from it? So many of us cannot even say what they learned. Some just opened it and went away. Some even walked away because they saw him speaking. But looking at the topic I wrote there, Biafrans must learn from the past. The speech of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dwelt on things that has happened. What brought us to where we are today? What brought us to where we are today? Things that have been happening all this while. Because I know there are so many of us that just entered into this very struggle in the era of Mazi Simon Ekpa. And there are still few of us that just joined yesterday from the declaration of Biafra. So that is why I felt it is important we revisit where we are coming from and touch some important events so that you that have joined us now will be able to answer some necessary questions when it comes. You heard Mazi Nnamdi Kanu very well explaining on the last part of his message about Gulak. You heard him also talk about the unknown gunmen when they talk about insecurity, the origin of this insecurity you are hearing about in Biafra land. You know, when we say it, some of idiots will come and think we are just making up word. Oh, we are defending our people. Oh, we are not saying the truth. We are not. We are just like one video that I saw. A Biafra made video and he was showing their village that people have run away. And the thing that made their people to run away, he claimed it is Biafra people. But that is a lie. And he was even swearing, carrying sand on the ground to swear that the God of the land should take his life. I don't know how people reason. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say the problem of a black man is in their brain. More especially the Biafran, some of the Biafran, some of us. Our problem is in our brain. That guy was showing that video of how his village had been deserted. What is the origin of that very problem? He failed to speak about the origin of that problem. That his village was deserted. And all his blame is on Biafra, that it is the Biafra struggle and the liberation army of Biafra that caused the problem in their land. But he has failed to look at the origin of the problem. The Biafran people say they want their freedom. We began to defend our land. They took away Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they took away Mazi Simon Ekpa. We began to hold sit at home. The Liberation Army were there to defend the land. And you people by yourself went and invited police to go after the Liberation Army. When they were established in that area, when those people who were fighting for Biafra were there, they were not attacking the citizens. They were not going against anybody. They didn't attack anybody. They were there to protect the land and prepare themselves against the terrorists in uniform and off uniform. That was why they were there. But it is the same people from that village that begin to act as an informant. They begin to lead the terrorists to go and attack the people that are defending the land, the people who are organizing themselves for the freedom of Biafra. And all hell break loose. And when they have created this problem and caused that chaos in that area, the military took that area as their base and come after the Biafran people, and it was a tug of war. At the end of the day, the ordinary people could not stand the tension and they left the village. But when the idiot was putting forward the story, all he would tell you is that, look at my village. Look at my village. Everybody have run away. Nobody's in this village anymore. Nobody. You cannot see anybody in the village. The village is empty. And everybody have just run away. It's the Liberation Army. They say they are fighting for Biafra. And because they are fighting for Biafra, look at what they have done. And he was swearing that anybody that say is a Fulani man that did it is a fool. And he swore and thought he would go free. This is some of them, how insane they are. In this broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, at the beginning of it, you hear him talk about how insecurity came to Imo State. The problem you are seeing in Imo State today, every one of us know how it came. The destruction of Olo, we know how it started. Imo State was very calm. Before the appearance of Obuzodema, everywhere was calm. Imo State was very calm. Hope Uzodoma came in, planted by danger. Number one is that he was not elected. Against the will of the people, he was forced into Imo State. And when he saw that the Imo people did not like him, they don't want him, he began to force order. He began to command and control them. He began to use command and control on Imo's people. Instead of earning that respect from the people, he began to use force. The next thing we saw was that he went to Abuja to go and bring soldiers against his own people that he's ruling, to force them to obey him. Hope Uzodinma intentionally went and invited soldiers to come to Imo State, to terrorize the people, to force them to obey him, because he knows that he's not the legitimate winner of the election. That was how Imo State was destroyed. And the base was Olu, his own hometown, because Olu people know him as a criminal. His own Olu people know that he is a criminal. They don't trust him. They know him. So for him to be able to force them to follow him, he has to introduce that chaos with force. Hope Uzodinma gave an open ticket for the terrorists to come and take the life of the Imolites. In Olu, more especially. That was how they began to take innocent life in Olu. And when you take the life of somebody, you think the person will fold hand, his brothers will fold hand and wait for you. You think that when you send your military to go and take a life, then his brothers will fold hand. Some people that he took their life were the family breadwinner. And that was how they began to form their groups and gather themselves to fight against what has come against them. And that is what brought all the chaos. Hope Uzodinma murdered people. There was a time Imo State announced that their mortuary is filled up. There is no more space to keep corpses. And they were announcing that people should come and take their corpses, or they will do mass burial. You can imagine. Mortuary in the National Hospital in Imo State got filled up. There was no more space to put people. And the state government announced that people should come and take their corpses, or else they will give mass burial. And these people, they say come and take their corpse. Nobody knows whether their brother or their sister is there, because there was no names given. No announcement of names given. No names. Unidentified corpses were filled up in all the mortuaries in Imo State. All the mortuaries were filled up. No more space to keep corpses. And all the Imo State government did was to announce that people should come and take their, the people you are calling don't even know, are not aware that their brothers and sisters are there, because no name was mentioned. If it were people who were taken there illegally, or people who lost their life legally, of course there will be a record of names. You don't just say come and take some, you will call names. The families, we know that the people are there, they will go there, take their corpse. That was how bad it is. That was what destroyed Imo State. But today, when they want to talk about the trouble in Imo State, they say Liberation Army. The next thing they will tell you, gentle. The next thing they will tell you, Mazi Simon Ekpa was one sponsoring them. But they forget to talk about the foundation of the problem. All the way from, this is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then Mazi Simon Ekpa wasn't in the picture. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one narrating what transpired. The unknown gunmen, you see, taking action and doing everything, how they formed them, how it all started. You had it. Learning from the past. Build on what we know. So with every information and what we know today, that is why sometimes when we see things, we sit back and watch. That is why when we come here, we see blackmail. Oh, they say, oh, this one did this, this one killed it, this one. We're not moved. We don't rush to speak because we have seen the drama of Nigerian government. We don't rush to speak. When they come to blackmail and say this and that, we don't rush to speak. We sit back and watch. And watch until the truth will unveil. We must build on what we know. With the information available for every one of us today, and you still say you are not supporting Biafra, you are still confused. You don't know whether to go left or go right. Well, I don't know when you're going to learn your lesson. If you have not yet learned your lesson up to this moment, I don't know when you will. The only way for us to escape what is before us is Biafra. We must make sure we don't repeat the same mistake over and over again. We must not repeat the same mistake. That was why even yesterday when I was in program, when I talked about the Liberation Army, mainly these messages of today is a lesson to the Liberation Army. A lesson to them. They should build on what they know, building on what they know. Learn from what happened in the past, all the way from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Haven't you learned? Haven't you learned anything? Haven't you learned anything? Why are you building? Why are you not building on now? Why are you not taking the experience you had all this while and implementing it today? Why are you not implementing yours? So you don't make too much mistakes. We know people will always make mistakes, but when the mistake becomes too much, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Do not allow the enemies to plant that evil seed again among you. We don't want the shedding of blood in our land. Not anymore. The blood of the innocent must not be spilled by the Biafrans. The blood of the innocent must not speak against us, because that is the worst that can happen to anybody. For the blood of innocent to be crying out against you, that is really, really bad. Really bad. Nobody survives it. Chukwu Okike Abiama does not keep silent when the blood of the innocent is crying. Chukwu Okike Abiama does not keep silent when the blood of the innocent is crying. We must realize that at this point in time, there are certain things we must not do. We must learn from the past. Build on what we know so that we don't repeat mistakes over and over again. at this time that we are talking about recognition, there are certain informations we must not even allow to come to the public. Every one of us is a Biafran, whether small, old, young, whether you are, whatever title you have, there are certain information you must not allow in the public or bring to the media. Even when you know them, you keep silent. Even when you know them. There are certain things we don't have to discuss online at this point when we are looking for recognition, because if you don't know, the eyes of the international communities are on us and they are watching to see what we have to offer, to see how we are going to convince them to recognize us. Are they ready to recognize? I bet you that so many countries are paying attention. So many countries are ready and willing to recognize us, but they are paying attention. They want to see something that will convince them. They want to see something that will convince them to recognize us. So wherever you are, whoever you are, you must try as much as possible to do your little best in your own way. Do your little best in your own way to make sure you add to the recognition of Biafra in one way or the other. That is something you can do. There is something you can do. It is not just all about our government, and our government. We still have a role to play. So, my fellow Biafrans, think of what you will do for your country and not just what your country can do for you. Think of what you will do for your country. We are in a very critical time. A very, very critical time. And every one of us must be very, very careful with what we do, with what we say, the actions we take, and how we take those actions. Very, very important. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, we must remain strong and keep a positive mindset at all times in the quest for Biafra. All hope is not lost, no matter how difficult it is. Biafra is